Real life, real topics. Good afternoon and welcome back to Cayman Conversations. Now streaming on Cayman Times, Facebook and YouTube channels, and also live on Bobo FM 89.1. If you're a small business owner and would like to appear on Cayman Conversations, email me at ralph@caymantimes.ky or just call at 916-2000. Today, in our first conversation, we are joined by Mr. Glenn Inanga, and we'll be talking about a visiting Trinidadian pan musician, Keisha Codrington. In the second interview, I'll be speaking with the Honorable Catherine Wilkes Ebanks, Speaker of Parliament and MP for West Bay Central. Now let's get started with some steel pan music. For those of you listening on Bobo FM 89.1, we just watched a beautiful pan solo by Keisha Codrington, Trinidadian, who's an extremely gifted musician who is well versed in steel pan and percussions. She has been dubbed a prodigy by many who have heard her perform. Keisha began playing steel pan at the tender age of 3, winning her first competition at the age of 11. She has since performed extensively throughout Trinidad as a steel pan soloist and also with a family band, the Codrington Pan Family. In addition to her ability to play multiple instruments, such as the steel pan, piano, trumpet, and percussion, Keisha is also an arranger and composer. Today we are joined by Glenn Inanga. Good afternoon, Glenn. How are you doing today?
Good afternoon, Ralph. How are you? I'm fine. It's great to be on your wonderful show. Talking about a phenomenal musician who is coming to Cayman in a couple of weeks. In fact, 2 weeks exactly today. And
Yes.
again, I'm delighted that the opportunity that I have to come on here and share this amazing, wonderful information with people. They do not want to miss this. I've been waiting for several years now for this moment to come, and you know, not to be missed. She's only here for 2 days, and she's going to be the second of the night she's here. She's going to be performing, going right back to Trinidad. So she's a very busy lady. So again, I'm very, very happy and very thankful to Mr. Ralph Lewis for having me on the show today.
Okay. And thank you, Glenn, for the introduction. How old is she today?
I know I've been always told don't ask a lady her age. So even though I've got her WhatsApp, I am guessing she's I'm guessing she's somewhere in her 20s. So
Okay.
that's as far as I know. Um,
Okay,
but
very
seeing
good.
how long she's been playing, she started playing at the age of 3, as you can see. So
Three. So she,
even if you look at her bio, saying she was playing in 2003 and 2004, she was still a little kid then. So you can kind of work out from there. She's still probably in her 20s. So,
so we can look forward to an expert performance. But before we start talking about Keisha a little bit more, tell us about yourself for those people
okay.
who never met you before.
So people who have never met me before, so my name is Glenn Inanga, and I came to Cayman about sometime in 2007. And a few years before that, we launched the Cayman Arts Festival in 2004. And I'm one of the co-founders of the Cayman Arts Festival. I work here at UCCI in the Arts and Humanities Department as an assistant professor. I run the music program here. And officially, my title generally on the international stage is concert pianist, international concert pianist. So I play the piano and I travel the world and I perform from time to time, make recordings. And yes, I'm a very lucky man to have been given all these opportunities to develop my talent to this level.
Yeah. And we've had some musicians here. We actually had a gentleman from Jubilate School of Music recently, and he talked about music. So we seem to be forming a trend here. It's education, employment, and now music. And if you know my background, I have a DJ title to my name.
Wonderful.
I've, I've been doing it for over 40 years. So
Amazing. I had no clue.
so music runs through my veins. But let's get back to Keisha and her music. So she's a master
Okay.
pan player from what we're hearing. And I think it was Mr. Lapierre who mentioned it to
Yes.
me and he said, so you could just speak about that connection and how she
Okay.
just happened to come to Cayman Islands.
Okay, so here's the deal. So we all know the legendary Mr. Lapierre as having introduced the steel band to Cayman in the mid 80s, I think it was. And he is a phenomenal force of nature who is very passionate about the instrument, very passionate about sharing his knowledge and sharing his love for the instrument. And he's taught over 3,000 students here in Cayman. Like generations. He's taught mothers and their kids, and their grandkids now. So he's been at it for quite a while, and very much in that same spirit. When he came to, when I came to UCCI, and we decided we're going to start a PAN program. He was the first person that I called to get things off the ground, and of course he sees UCCI as the tertiary institution where you set the standard for everyone else to follow in a sense. So he's always been pushing our students to very, very high levels, takes them to Canada every single year to go and compete with, as part of AfroPan, They have their 50th anniversary this year, and this opportunity for them makes them really, challenges them, takes them out of their comfort zones, and they come back transformed, and they makes them much better pan players. And we in the Cayman community, we really enjoy, all the benefits of them having reached sort of new levels of skill. That at the end of the day, they come back, and the general level of the years here in Cayman for the students has now gone up because of that regular, consistent practice of going away, benchmarking, working harder, raising the bar, coming back, So he has always been, looking for ways in which we can inspire our students here. And about 5 to 6 years ago, he introduced me to, as he always does, to all these great, Trinidadian players. And he says, hey, listen to this person, listen to that person. And one of the things he shared with me was a group of players from the same family, and it was the siblings and the parents, and they were all the Codrington Pan family, and they were playing some amazing stuff. But they had this one soloist in the front, which is the girl, Keisha, doing phenomenal stuff. And I thought, who is she? And he said, oh, yes, she's in a league of her own, and, of course, very talented family, but she was doing some incredible things. And I always said to him, gosh, it'd be great to get the whole family down here, And for some reason, that didn't quite work out. But then a new opportunity came up where we decided, maybe we can just have her, for starters, and see how that goes. And there's a reason why, I'm sure most of you could hear, how effortless it is for her to play a lot of those improvisations on the pan, on the Spanish pan. She's a very multi-talented artist. But the one thing that I really wanted to share with people in Cayman, from my perspective, is the way she approaches the instrument. It's not something I see very often in terms of, and I'm just going to explain a little bit. For me, I see the steel pan as, a Caribbean instrument that belongs to the percussion family of instruments. And you create the sound by hitting it, okay? A bit like a piano, the hammers hit the string. But you create the sound from a steel pan, just like any drum, by hitting it. And so it has this, sort of clanging kind of sound because of the way the sound is being produced, like any percussion instrument. But one thing that many people get to hear when they listen to the steel pan is they hear that percussive side of it almost instantaneously. And that's the side of it that some people have sort of got a little bit tired of hearing, and it makes them want to move on to another instrument to go and listen to, because they're tired of hearing the percussive side of the instrument. And very few people who are able to bring out that less percussive side of the instrument, almost as if you're gliding across the notes of the instrument. So you're playing it a lot more smoothly. And she never hits the instrument to get the sound. She almost sort of coaxes it out of the instrument. And that, for me, is so unique. That is so skilled. And to do so effortlessly really made me sit up and listen. Because, like I said, I'm not saying there's anything wrong in playing it any other way, but it makes you rethink and reflect on the things that the instrument is capable of doing. And that is where I really want to challenge many people to come and have a listen. And I can always go on YouTube and listen, but when you hear her doing it live, it's a completely different experience. And that's kind of what I wanted our students here in Cayman to really listen to. That's why we're in the morning when she's doing the first part of her concert, we're going to get all the kids from the school in Cayman to come and to listen to her play. And in the evening, we've got the grown-ups coming to hear her play. We've got a backing band for her for that to happen. But the idea really is, this is not just steel pan that you normally hear in Carnival or steel pan you hear on a parade. This is steel pan with a little bit more sophistication that you probably would normally associate with the instrument. And that's kind of where I'm going with my thinking. And that's something I'm very excited about. And, she's a wonderful, wonderful player, wonderful musician, first and foremost. And you can see she composes and she arranges as well for steel bands in Trinidad.
And that's very interesting. We're going to pause for a few minutes. Let's play one of our second songs. I think we'll all like it. Wow, wow, wow. Amazing talent and amazing. Wow, it's
Oh, I
amazing.
mean,
I just couldn't keep my shoulders from moving. I was like, easy out.
it's
But
it just pours comes out of every pore of her skin of her being. It's unbelievable. And she's so humble, and it's just greatness when you're listening to her. And this is something which I'm very honored to see that this is going to happen. Here in Cayman.
yes,
So yeah, that the idea really is 2 weeks from today, she's going to be coming down here, and she'll be performing more like Caribbean jazz. So for people who really love jazz, this is definitely the kind of event for you. For people who love Caribbean music, this is the event for you. For people who love steel pan, this is definitely the event for you. And for those of you who just like music, full stop, you know, this is an amazing event, and I'm really excited about it. And I'm not sure if people noticed when she was playing. She almost wasn't. She almost wasn't struggling to play. It was so effortless. She
yes,
made it look so natural. And
yes,
when you see it being played like that, this is very, very rare talent. And I'm happy to go out on a limb. She seems to me like one in a billion kind of talent.
yes,
Not just with the skill, but the music inside her that's oozing. The bursting point.
yes. It's amazing. And what date is that?
So it's going to be on the 15th of June.
15.
15th
Yes.
of June. It's at 7
Okay.
p.m. at the John Gray Performance Theatre,
Okay.
Performance Hall. It's a wonderful stage. She's going to be backed by some Cayman musicians, which is wonderful,
Yeah.
and led by Jeff Japal, who we all know, wonderful
Right.
keyboard player. And
Yes.
I think Sean Hennings is playing, there's Mark Hyde is going to be playing guitar. It's a very simple setup in terms of the backing track, but she is going to be the main star of the show. And something Mr. Lapierre was sharing with me recently about some of the trends in steel pan playing in Trinidad right now. He said it seems like there are a lot more women, a lot more girls who are taking it up. And she's actually one of the very first few female arrangers for bands in Trinidad.
I see.
He says it's a new thing, and it's very, very interesting to see because back in the day, as we all know, it was mainly male dominated.
That's
And,
right.
he was saying it's a really nice thing to see these new trends. Um, and so I know he would have loved to have talked a little bit about that, if he was on the show today. But this is
Yes.
the things he shares with me that he gets every time he goes to Trinidad for Carnival, for the Panorama competition. And
Yes.
he talks on the radio and talks about the things that he's seeing. And this is one thing that he really felt excited about. And in our show as well here in Cayman, we're going to have a couple of young female students who are going to play a couple of solos because we want her to see a little bit of what Cayman, what's happening in the Cayman schools as well when it comes to steel pan. And this is her first time in Cayman, and we want her to have such a wonderful, brief time while she's here. And I know Mr. Lapierre feels very much like he's going to be hosting, a
Yes.
fellow Trinidadian who's coming to Cayman, who's coming to play the steel pan. So he's very, very excited about the whole thing. And he's been pushing me. That's why I'm thankful to him for getting you, getting in touch with you to come on the show to talk about this event.
Well, definitely, I'm looking forward to that event, and we may have another space next week to bring you on, and with Elle and with Keisha if she's available. We can plan to record it at a later date, time of the
That
day,
I'll,
but that will
I'll,
be good if you can get her on. So we'll work on that for next week.
that'll be
But just
amazing. Thank
just
you.
to switch gears a bit for in the last couple of minutes in our interview, our conversation as we call it. Steel pan in Cayman. Is there a future? Is it happening? Is it
Oh my
slowing
goodness.
down or is it picking up? What
It
do you think
is
about it?
Steel Pan in Cayman is doing incredibly well. Like I say, Mr. Lapierre has worked really hard. There are lots of people who have passed through his hands who are now doing their own thing. And that's where you begin to see the future of Steel Pan playing is in wonderful, is in wonderful hands because his son, Jimmy, he's actually I think he's going to New York next week. Actually, he's going to
Yes.
James Gary's group. They're going up to perform, and it's nice to see the next generation of people coming along to play. Here at UCCI, we continue to be very excited to see what the students are doing. Each year they go up to Toronto. I'll tell you now, when they go up to Toronto, the people in Toronto now are saying, when are the Cayman Islands guys coming up? Because they go up to join
Yes.
forces with them. And so they're making quite a name for themselves internationally as well. So yes, Cayman Steel Pan is doing really, really well right now. And we're very thankful for that. We appreciate
Very
all the
good.
support the community gives for many of the events that they put on. And this event is not to be missed. That's all I can say. You don't want to be hearing, oh, I wish I'd come to that. Oh, I wish I'd sort of paid more attention and I'd come to that. It's tickets only $25 for adults and $10 for students. That's for the evening show. And I think the kids are trying to come for $1 in the morning. But the idea really is it's as accessible as possible to people as we can get it. The Cayman Arts Festival is very proud to put on this event. But we always believe in challenging the public, to see things differently. And that's kind of where, I come from. I feel very, very honored to be in this position whereby I hear something, I feel strongly about it, and I can share it with other people in the community. And she is so excited about coming. I know we're going to give her the most amazing Cayman welcome.
Yes. We want to encourage as much people as we can and promote it as long as we can too, because I think it's something not to be missed. Exposure to talent of this quality does things for the human, for the mind, and for the motivation in individuals. Just seeing it perform the way she performed, if she's that good on video, imagine in real life. And I can see the goosebumps starting to come already. But it's great to know that this is going to happen, and we're going to be exposed in the Cayman Islands to someone of this considerable talent. And I'm sure many pan players will probably just pack that hall to just hear from this young lady.
And one of the things we're very excited about as well, they're going to be rehearsing, in the run-up to the show and the day before. And we're very thankful to Iron Shore Studios who've given us the opportunity to go there to actually rehearse. So we're going to give
Yes.
her a taste of what Cayman has. She will go to
Yes.
these studios and think, wow, So we're very excited about all of this. What's to see Cayman and all the wonderful things Cayman has to offer as well.
Okay.
It's great for tourism.
Yeah,
Education and
definitely
culture,
is.
all those different things, really wonderful.
Yeah. Well, Glenn, I want to thank you for coming on, and I want to invite you back again very soon,
Yes,
probably next
please.
week if we can get her on
I'm
and
going to
Earl
be
together.
I'm going to be writing to
we'll
her right after this and say to her,
yes,
give us a time when we could pre-record something, and and just to
of
get a
course.
taste of what she's like as a person.
Yes.
Really wonderful.
Good to hear from her. Right. So I'll see you soon. And
See
for
you
those
soon, Mr.
listeners,
Ralph.
stay tuned. We're going to have some more interviews coming up. Right next, waiting for us here in the studio is none other than Honorable Speaker of Parliament, Catherine Evans Wilkes, MP for West Bay Central. Right after some Cayman music.
Red light.
Yeah,
Na, 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 na.
the sun is up, the sun is up. The sun is up and it's smiling. Another clear blue perfect day.
Paradise.
A warm breeze from the ocean.
Warm breeze blows your troubles away.
Next to West Bay. Oh yeah.
A walk on the white sandy beaches.
A call from the turquoise sea. You know you're right where you're meant to be. If you find yourself believing, if you find yourself still dreaming, if you find yourself
Good afternoon and welcome back to Cayman Conversations. As an indication of an election promise fulfilled, the West Bay Central District Council is up and running. It was one of the commitments made by MP Catherine Ebanks-Biltz to activate the council as a central reference point to address the issues and concerns of the constituency. Today, it is my distinct pleasure to welcome the Honorable Speaker of the House and MP for West Bay Central, Mistress Catherine Ebanks-Wilkes. Good afternoon, Madam Speaker.
Good afternoon, Mr. Lewis. How are you?
I am doing extremely well. It's my pleasure to welcome for the first time into Cayman Conversations. I know we met some time ago at an event you had in West Bay, and I was really impressed that it was the start of a district council. Can you tell me what motivated that event?
Well, before I get into that, I just want to be clear because I know that there is a little bit of confusion when we use the word district council. And I think district council comes from the original intention of having an advisory body established back in 2011 when there was the passage of the District Advisories Council Law 2011. So for the avoidance of doubt, what I've been saying, just to be clear, is that the constituency of West Bay Central has established an interim district council. Because when you say the word district council, some people think that we're referring to the entire district. And I do believe that we will eventually we'll get there, but we're starting with the constituency that I am responsible for. Now, to answer your question as to what motivated me establishing this, it is something that when I was campaigning, a lot of residents were really concerned about not really having an advisory body established for the relevant members of parliament. So I gave a commitment that it was something that I would establish once if I had been elected. So I've been working on it, and I know that there are other members of parliament that are also, looking at establishing district councils. But that's really what started the movement for me in terms of getting it established. And then the mere fact that the district advisory council law is already there. So you sort of have a guide on how to move forward. So I really didn't feel that it would have been something difficult to get going. And that's really what motivated me to establish it. Not to mention, as an MP, and especially navigating through COVID, I really saw the importance of having one central voice or advisory body. It would have been so wonderful to have had, a group established from back then to get a collective voice of the constituency.
Okay. Actually, you answered my next question. What's the role of a district council? But you actually saw the benefits of a district council. And before you elaborate on the role, you were successful in getting individuals selected for that council. And can you update on who are these members and how hard it was to get the involvement of those?
Well, it wasn't very hard to get members involved. What we did from a constituency standpoint was we actually reached out and asked persons in the community to send in nominations. So there was a nomination period and the applicants were vetted. And the process of vetting was determined from, I had a series of meetings in the constituency leading up to the establishment of the council. So I got feedback from constituents on what they felt would have been important for this interim body. And of course, one of the things was they wanted to ensure that the persons that were on the council were registered in the electoral boundary for West Bay Central. So the vetting process required my team to go through and ensure that persons were indeed registered in West Bay Central. And then the other requirement was for persons who had applied to be in good standings with the law. And so, that was a series of vetting as well. So we had a number of persons that were nominated, and then we had, as you know, Mr. Lewis, there was an evening where we did the establishment of the members. So the members are: the council chair is Mr. Clint Hunter. The deputy chair is Miss Charlene Rogers. And then we have a youth ambassador, Al Ebanks. And then we have a few other members, Miss Glenda Ebanks, Roberta Jefferson Powery, Jehu Rivers, Dobreen Maxwell, Charlie Brown, Shamar Harding, and Sophia Bryan. So those are the members.
Okay, very good. And are there special age groups that these members fall in, or are they representative of the community that you represent?
Right. Well, one of the things that I wanted to ensure was that, we had a diverse group of representation. So I ensured that we had a representative for the elderly. So we do have one of those members is a representative for the senior citizens, or as you know, a lot of our senior citizens don't like to be referred to as senior citizens. They prefer to be referred to as retirees. But, the age group from 60 onwards. And then we also have a representative for our youth, which I think is very important, because we want to ensure that whatever concerns the young people have, it's getting their voice is getting to the representative in their area, and then by extension to the government at hand.
Very good. Have they met since that last meeting? Have they had meetings, and have they reported back to you with any findings or recommendations?
Yes. Well, not findings or recommendations as yet, because, they're still trying to get established. I did get an update, and I'm happy to report. I was actually happy to have been advised that, let's see, because I actually jotted it down here. So what's taken place so far is the council has had, they had the first commencement meeting. And then following that meeting, the chairman and the deputy chair, they have established a mission statement, which has now been agreed on by all of the members of the council. And where they're at, I've been advised that their next step now is for the council to meet and greet with constituents in West Bay Central. So they're currently working on a meet and greet project. So also policy guidelines for the council are being established by the chair and the deputy chair to be agreed on by the members.
So it's happening, and I applaud you for these efforts, and the committee as well. There are many times we talk about things in our life, but not many times we execute. And I believe in executing, and I'm happy to see that this is happening. And of course, there'll be tweaks and changes as you go along. But would you comment on what changes do you think might be necessary as you develop this council?
Well, definitely the makeup of, I wouldn't really say the makeup of the body of the council. Like what I'd mentioned in the meeting that we had, or the series of meetings that we had, is that this body, and this is what I pride myself with in regards to establishing this, because this body isn't a political, this isn't affiliated with me as the MP for West Bay Central. There may very well be people in this council that are not, their political affiliation may be different, right? So as a result of that, it's done in a democratic process that the MP or myself doesn't overstep boundaries and try to dictate to this council what their remit should be. It's really a body that's established to advise the MP on areas that they have collectively been discussing. So for me, where I see that there will definitely need to be some sort of amendment or change would be as we move forward. The original law, the District Council Advisories Law 2011, that was passed when we did not have single member constituencies.
I see.
So that will definitely now require, as this law is revisited, we'll definitely have to consider the fact that, and I know it now is, we're having discussions right now about electoral boundaries, right?
Yes,
So
yes,
it will have to be reflective of the way in which the electoral boundaries are established.
yes. And that's very good. But I want you to just emphasize the importance. Yes, there may be changes and tweaks, but what is so important and necessary for district councils?
Again, I think that just having the collective body, one of the things that I've said to a number of people is that there's no need to reinvent the wheel. And I'm just going to pull up here the District Advisory Act, or its law. It makes reference in section 3.3, right? It speaks about advising in relation to finance, tourism. So all of the different, I mean, I don't want to spend too much time elaborating, but employment, community affairs, housing, health. So pretty much it's a gist of any topic that, is concerning to residents. And I often talk about people power. And I know that a lot of times, all of us residents are, going through periods where we're frustrated with a particular matter. And this body, I feel, is a vehicle to help drive change, because what the body will do is they'll sit and they'll discuss what the issues really are, and then take it to the MP, and then the MP would then be responsible of taking this matter to the government. And it could be that the MP, well, right now, like I said, this is an interim council, but I'm hoping that it will continue to grow and that other MPs will eventually establish a similar grouping. And then it could be that the MP is not on the government side. So they will then force that MP to take their concerns to the government at hand, to just ensure that the government is aware of the concerns of the relevant constituency.
And you are so right. It's so important that the representatives understand that they represent the people, and the people should be heard, and the people or the voters should feel comfortable with approaching the representatives, and these are the forums that you can have for those such meetings. And I know that the MPs are very, very busy doing their jobs, but of course they're still represented. So I can see the district council being that additional assistance to collect this information and collate it and present it to you. What are the next steps for your district council?
Well, again, right now, that's what I've been advised that the council is doing is, their next steps that they've advised me. Remember now, I don't really dictate to them what they're supposed to be doing. The only thing that I am trying to ensure that takes place, which is that they have some sort of rules or policies in place, which they've already started working on that. And I think that for the council, they're going to start to do, the meet and greet project within the community. The other thing that I know that the council will more than likely be working on will be mapping out how to move forward from interim, into a council that's not an interim council, where the election process, is done in a fashion in which the members actually feel they would agree on, in terms of how members will be elected.
Okay, great. Have you received any feedback from other representatives from the district or from anyone regarding this step that they've taken? Are they in support or they
Um,
find
I've
issues?
received a lot of positive feedback from residents, not just my constituents, residents, around the island, just saying that they're happy to see that it's starting. I know that there are other MPs that have advisory councils, but one of um, the feedback that I have received so far is just that residents are very appreciative of the democratic process in which the council has been established. It isn't really a council that's been handpicked. It's just persons that were nominated from constituents in the West Bay Central constituency. So it's been a positive. I've been receiving positive feedback. I do feel that receiving an invitation to come on your show was very welcoming for me, because I've heard a couple of times now where reference has been made that there are no district councils established. So I know that I need to, get it out
Yeah.
there a little bit more what the district council is actually doing. And I know that, and I'm saying district council again, so I don't want to confuse it, the West Bay Central Constituency Council. And I
Yes.
know that the council chair and deputy chair will be going on air once they have, it's still early stages. So once they have everything sort of established, then they're going to be, coming onto the airwaves to tell the country what they're doing as a collective body.
Yeah, and that's indeed. And as a media owner myself, I understand the need to get the information out. And there's a lot of information that doesn't reach where it should reach. A lot of things are being done and nobody knows. And
I
the
agree.
question, why is it done? So we need to do a better job at getting that information out. And that's why we're creating these platforms that, you can come on and you can talk and we write about it, because it's about dissemination of information. And that's our role, to get the information out
Yes.
to the community. And in our last 5 minutes, I want to just switch gears a bit and to
Mm.
congratulate you on your appointment to the Speaker of the
Oh,
House. This seems to be the year of the woman, because we
yeah.
have a lot of women in major, major roles in this country.
Yes.
And I applaud you for accepting and performing in that role admirably, as I can see for myself. But do you see more women taking more major roles as we progress in our lives?
Yes, absolutely, Ralph. And I'd like to thank you for your kind words. I feel proud to be in this position to represent not just the men of the country, but the women, and to be able to display that, you know, a woman's place, isn't just at home. Women can get out there and be working mothers. And, I'm not the first woman to be in this position, and I'm certainly not going to be the last. We already have trailblazers. We have, I don't want to start calling names and forget some of our former female leaders. But there's a large, a long list already of women who have paved the way for women like myself. And, my only goal in this position is that I will motivate and encourage other women to put themselves, prepare themselves for any type of position of leadership that
Yes.
their heart so desires, because it's certainly possible. And women are needed. You don't want to, come across like a feminist, but women think differently than men, and we need a good balance. We need both. So it's certainly a very proud moment for me, and I'm happy to be here and happy to be able to represent the constituency of West Bay Central. I know, some people were concerned about me taking the position of speaker, but as I said in my what do they call it, maiden speech as speaker, the Speaker of Parliament in the UK, who I actually just saw a few weeks ago now in Anguilla, he is very proud of the fact that being the speaker affords him the opportunity to have conversations that he couldn't have from his capacity as an MP. And so there's certainly ways to get things done, even in this seat, and I'm excited to see the things that are going to be rolling out for the constituency of West Bay Central.
That's good. And on that topic, the children are the future, and having role models such as yourself taking these positions, it sends a strong message to those young girls and young women coming up that there's a senior role in society for you, where that was
Absolutely.
more dominated by the male. I have a lot of respect for women, and not only that, I came from a woman, my mother, and that's but also women make better money managers. In my training in financial discipline, women are better at managing money than men. And those are the kind of things. Even the Cayman Islands, when the seamen went away, they sent the money home to the women who
Mhm.
managed it well and who developed. So when you see the role of women in the Cayman society, you can see that that was established years ago.
Right.
And so what we are seeing now is just reality coming around. And I congratulate you and I applaud all the other women who have taken up major positions. And I wish you all very, very well. Any final words?
Just want to say thank you, Ralph, for inviting me on the show, and I want to congratulate you for launching your talk show or your radio show. I know that you have been working for many years, in media, with writing. So I'm excited to see that you have now launched this platform, and I'm very honored that I had an opportunity to be here today, and I look forward to having more conversations with you about any topic that you would invite me to come on and talk about. I think that it's important for us to, have different conversations and, like I said, encourage people power, because at the end of the day, it's the people who are really the game changers, in this country.
Yes. And thank you very much. And I wish you all the best. Have a great evening, Catherine. And see you
Thank you.
soon. See you
Thank you,
soon.
Rob.
Thank you for joining Cayman Conversations today. And a special thank you to our guest, Mr. Kananga, and the Honorable Speaker. It's a great week with our special guests and as we elevate the level of media conversations in our Cayman Islands. Caymanian Times is now a free newspaper, again, in print and online. You can also pick up your copy this evening or tomorrow and read about the airport upgrade, UCCI's tourism diploma, next week's cruise ship schedule, and lots more. We aim to play our part in developing this economy to where it should have been years ago. And unfortunately, the pandemic kind of put us a stumbling block in our way, but we'll get back on track. Remember to like, share, and follow Caymanian Times social media pages so we can spread the good word. Cayman Conversation is a production of the Caymanian Times newspaper. Have a great weekend and now enjoy Caymanian music from our local musician, Mr. James Geary.
Sometimes I feel low. 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 And I go. 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 Sometimes I see a brighter day, you and me. I wanna be happy. I wanna be free. I wanna be happy. I wanna be free. I wanna be happy. I wanna be free. I wanna walk away to the fray. Oh, I see a brighter day, you and me. Sometimes I feel low, and I go. 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 I wanna be happy. I wanna be free. I wanna be happy. I wanna be free. I wanna be happy. I wanna be free. I wanna walk away to the fray. Oh, I see a brighter day with you. Sometimes I feel low. 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 Sometimes I feel low.
Yeah. Talking like, yeah. Let me break it down. Check it out. I don't need to be on top. I just need to be there when that beat gon' drop. Hit me with the music so my feet don't stop. 345, I represent the realest rock. Life is incredible. We be consuming these beats like they edible. Level up. On this track, getting better. Roll like a sing shot, slinging rocks. We gon' let it go. Pop, pop, pop. And you better know. I be on top. Yo, pass me the rock. Yeah, never let go, cause the love in your soul gotta burn, gotta glow. never let go. Cause we got a country to wake up. Everybody stop, play, wait up. Cause the youth them is wasting. Please can we save them? Come on, we got a country to wake up. Everybody stop, play, wait up. Cause the youth them is wasting. Please can we save them? Come on, we got a country to wake up. Everybody stop, play, wait up. Cause the youth them is wasting. Please can we save them? Come on. Depression may grab at you, try to put you in a chokehold. But this is what happens when life is a savage. It's bound to bring damage, so hold on, never let go. 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 You justly love mercy, walk humbly. That's how the world should be. Don't judge a book by a cover until you look under and see just what the pages read. Misunderstood, misconstrued. Don't let your attitude ruin the best of you and me. I just wanna be free to be the best part of me. Don't watch me drown. Show me love when I am down. And now we need equality. Let me tell you about my brother called Ray. Now down here in the islands, Ray is Ray. But back home, his identity, his birthright is out of sight. Cause all you see is white light. You never saw the man, you never saw his heart. Cause all you ever saw was the black part. I'm a black man, the best you ever known. Let me step up on this microphone and take a seat on my throne. There's other black kings who don't submit to the system and don't need to wear the ring. Power to the people, got my mind on blast. About to take this message to the street, fast like flash. And in the dash we gon' flash, breaking down these barriers to race that's been dwindling our past. I just wanna be free to be the best part of me. Don't watch me drown. Show me love when I am down. And now we need equality. Our hearts are so deceitful. We don't realize that we're all equal. But everyone's repairable with a gift that's a miracle. There's a crown of great renown in the book that's upside down. So open up the page, dissipate the rage. It's time to engage. It's time to engage.
I just wanna be free to be the best part of me. Don't watch me drown. Show me love when I am down. And now we need equality. Exam time now. Show them your pass now. Yeah. One in the green now. Back it up and push it out and swing it up and bring it back down and put on your face and match up the place and turn around and roll up your waist and back it up now. Push it up now. Swing it up and bring it back down and turn around and spin around and slow it down. Show me what you can do. Show me what you can do. Show me what you can do. You're a nigga. Come to the front now. Push up your hand now. Show off your work now. Push up your grade now. Sometimes I feel low. Sometimes I feel low. Sometimes I feel low. Sometimes I feel low. Sometimes I feel low, and I go. Sometimes I feel low, and I go. Sometimes I feel low, and I go. Sometimes
Sometimes I feel low, and I go. 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 I wanna be happy. I wanna be free. I wanna be happy. I wanna be free. I wanna be happy. I wanna be free. I wanna walk away to the fray. Oh, I see a brighter day with you. Sometimes I feel low. 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 Yeah. Sucking like, yeah. Let me break it down. Check it out. I don't need to be on top. I just need to be there when the beat gon' drop. Hit me with the music so my feet don't stop. 345, I represent the realest rock. Life is incredible. We be consuming these beats like they edible. Level up. On the track, getting better. Roll like a sling shot, slinging rocks. We gon' let it go. Pop, pop, pop. And you better know. I be on top. Yo, pass me the rock. Yeah, never let go, cause the love in your soul gotta burn, gotta glow. Hold on, never let go. 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 Yeah. Sucking like, yeah. never let go. Cause we got a country to wake up. Everybody stop, play, wait up. Cause the youth them is wasting. Please can we save them, come on. We got a country to wake up. Everybody stop, play, wait up. Cause the youth them is wasting. Please can we save them, come on. We got a country to wake up. Everybody stop, play, wait up. Cause the youth them is wasting. Please can we save them, come on. Depression may grab at you, try to put you in a chokehold. But this is what happens when life is a savage. It's about to bring damage, so hold on, never let go. 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 Show me what you can do. Show me what you can do. Show me what you can do. You're an A-plus. Class in session now. I hope you're ready to move. It's a dancing session now. I know you're in the mood. Follow, 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 follow the teacher now. Swing towel and follow procedure now. Shake feathers and follow the leader now. James Carey, the soca teacher now. Back it up and push it out and swing it up and bring it back down and put on your face and match up the place and turn around and roll up your waist and back it up now, push it up now, swing it up and bring it back round and turn around and spin around and slow it down. Class in session now, I hope you're ready to move. It's a dancing session now, I know you're in the mood. Show me what you can do. Show me what you can do. Show me what you can do. You're a nigga. Take time and wine like you have something to prove. Waistline, 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 I like it how you move. Show me what you can do. Show me what you can do. Show me what you can do. Work like A-plus. My girl, come to the front now. Push up your hand now. Show off your work now. Push up your grade now. You teach your class now. Exam time now. Show them your pass now. Yeah. One in the green now. Back it up and push it out and swing it up and bring it back down and put on your face and match up the place and turn around and roll up your waist and back it up now. Push it up now. Swing it up and bring it back down and turn around and spin around and slow it down. Show me what you can do. Show me what you can do. Show me what you can do. You're a nigga. Come to the front now. Push up your hand now. Show off your work now. Push up your grade now. love mercy, walk humbly. That's how the world should be. Don't judge a book by a cover until you look under and see just what the pages read. Misunderstood, misconstrued. Don't let your attitude ruin the best of you and me. I just wanna be free to be the best part of me. Don't watch me drown. Show me love when I am down. And now we need equality. Let me tell you about my brother called Ray. Now down here in the islands, Ray is Ray. But back home, his identity, his birthright is out of sight. 'Cause all you see is white light. You never saw the man, you never saw his heart. 'Cause all you ever saw was the black part. I'm a black man, the best you ever known. Let me step up on this microphone and take a seat on my throne. There's other black kings who don't submit to the system and don't need to wear the ring. Power to the people, got my mind on blast. About to take this message to the street, fast like flash. And in the dash we gon' flash, breaking down these barriers to race that's been dwindling our past. I just wanna be free to be the best part of me. Don't watch me drown. Show me love when I am down. And now we need equality. Our hearts are so deceitful. We don't realize that we're all equal. But everyone's repairable with a gift that's a miracle. There's a crown of great renown in the book that's upside down. So open up the page, dissipate the rage. It's time to engage. It's time to engage. I just wanna be free to be the best part of me. Don't watch me drown. Show me love when I am down. And now we need equality. Session now, I hope you're ready to move. It's a dancing session